Personification. Personification is a figurative language device that is often used in creative writing. It gives human characteristics to things that are not human. Here's an example. The artist's paintbrush danced across the page. Can you see which non-human object has been given a human characteristic? The paintbrush is given the human characteristic of dancing. Let's have a look at another example. Angry waves crashed into the small fishing boat. Which non-human object has been given a human characteristic? The non-human element waves is given the human characteristic of anger. What is the purpose of personification? To help answer this, start by thinking about how you felt or what images you got in your mind when you heard these two examples. Personification is used to make descriptions more lively and engaging. It's a tool we use to make our writing more imaginative. Let's take another look at our first example. The artist's paintbrush danced across the page. What effect did the writer hope to have on the reader? Simply put, the writer is telling us that the artist was painting. However, by using personification, the writer has told us so much more than that. The writer creates an image of the paintbrush moving freely, and skillfully, and rhythmically. This gives the impression the artist is very skilled. Let's now look at the second example and see if we can work out what effect the writer was hoping to have. Angry waves crashed into the small fishing boat. In this example, the writer is telling us that waves are crashing against a boat. But what effect does the addition of the word angry have? It makes the action more dramatic and creates a stronger emotional impact on the reader. It makes the waves seem more threatening to the boat, intensifying the element of danger. We'll look at two more examples of personification before we move on. The first. Howling in frustration, the wind tugged relentlessly at the shutters. And the second. The diary lay open on the desk, ready to spill its secrets. First, see if you can work out what is being personified and the human action or traits it's given. Then work out what the writer wants us to understand or feel. Pause here while you work. How did you go? What did you think of them? In the first, the wind has been personified. Here we can see that it has been given a human emotion, frustration. The verb tugged has been used to make it sound like a deliberate action of the wind. This choice of language helps create a vivid description of the wind, making it seem as though the wind is determined to enter the house. In the second, the diary has been personified. By saying that the diary is ready to spill its secrets, the diary is given the human qualities of awareness and intention. It implies that the diary is choosing to reveal hidden thoughts. Now we're going to have a go at creating personification. We'll begin by deciding what we are going to personify. How about we personify the sun? Now we'll brainstorm some human actions or traits that could be applied to it. Here are some human actions that could be given to the sun. Now here are some human traits we could use. I'll need to choose carefully because you can see that some of my options will result in very different images in the reader's mind. Look at these two sentences for example. The sun glared down angrily. The playful sun peeked through the clouds. The sun has been personified in two different ways and has created two very different descriptions. This highlights the power of personification. Let's see how we can improve these two very simple descriptions using personification. We'll start with the first one. The clouds covered the moon. How about we use the verb hide? Hiding is a human action. It isn't something a moon can really do, but it would create an interesting image. And how about we use the adjective shy to describe the moon? The shy moon hid behind the clouds. We have personified the moon. Let's move on to the second one. Fire burned the trees. I'm going to use the verbs feast and laugh to evoke the feeling that the fire has a ravenous appetite and is enjoying the destruction of the trees. The fire laughed as it feasted on the trees. Feasting and laughing are human actions. We have personified fire. Compare our new sentences to the originals. By using personification, we are able to create much more interesting and vivid descriptions. Now that we've looked at what personification is, why we use it, and how we use it, it's time to have a go at writing some of your own. Use personification to improve the following sentences. Here are some human actions and traits that you might like to use. I'd love to see your examples of personification, so be sure to share them in the comments below. Thanks for following along, and I hope to see you soon for the next lesson. EasyTeaching.net